Richard Lewis reporting from Cameron.org. A game has just finished, which is kind of a bit of an upset, which there hasn't been a lot of so far. Everyone's kind of met the seeds. Groups have been pretty boring, to be honest. But Beasts, who were seeded 10th, have just beaten VYE, who you will remember fought so hard and viciously for that 7th seed. So, guys, first of all, were you going into that game reasonably confident that you were going to beat them?
Yeah, we were, for definite. We played them online a couple of times and we've beaten them, so it's no different here.
Yeah, I think going into the game we had the perspective that anyone between, other than the two good French teams and down to us, the 10th seed, you got your favourites in those 7, but I think anyone can beat anyone on their day and if they play well, and that's the mentality that we went in with, and we knew that they practiced a lot, so it means a lot to you when you practice a lot, and I think that might have been what happened with them. They played very defensive. They didn't go for the picks, and they didn't feel like they were playing a natural game against us. So yeah, I think that can just happen because they boot camped for a long time.
Do you think maybe they made a bit more pressure for themselves going into this game because they were kind of so vociferous in their pursuit of getting as high a seed as possible, and then when they come up against experienced players like yourself who are lower, it's ticking away in the back of their mind?
Yeah, I reckon that's something to do with it. Plus the fact that because they've boot camped, they've practiced and everything like that. There's obviously that pressure. They were telling me actually that we shouldn't have boot camped, we shouldn't have done this, that, and the other. So yeah, there was definitely that pressure there. They told us, so yeah, it was a...
Well, I mean, you guys seem to exploit that during the game. We were kind of stood behind you. We got some great footage of some abuse being doled out, all friendly, not quite like stuff we've seen at other lands. But I mean, were you guys really trying to psychologically just put a bit of doubt in their mind when you were kind of shouting stuff?
I think Gand was. Him and Imi, I think, maybe Ducky were in the team with them before.
Yeah.
That always sparks up a rivalry, but myself and probably Nick, the mind games probably wasn't really there. I think we were more relaxed, and that's probably why we played well. But as I say, I think those three were really pumped up for the game, and shouting at them obviously worked, I think, because they really didn't play how I expected them to at all. They played really defensively.
In terms of this team, I don't really know a lot about it. I mean, I guess it looks to an outsider and somebody like myself who probably should be an insider but kind of feels like an outsider sometimes in the UK scene. Is this just a mixed team, or is this actually real? Is this a one-land deal? Are you guys going to kind of get back into it, or is real life kind of taken over?
It was originally a team, obviously, with Luke, his situation. Yeah, with his situation.
I was trying not to mention it, but sorry, we can come to that.
There's no bad blood or anything,
Well, there never is for you. You're a nice guy.
I suppose. Yeah, but I honestly can't say. You can never really tell, can you? Someone could just play incredible, someone else could get picked up. What I want personally, I mean, I've got 4 months till university, so what I want to do is just horse ESS for as long as possible, till then. So I'm up for sticking around and playing and stuff. I don't know about Tom, but I'm up for sticking around, yeah.
I don't know.
No.
Maybe. I don't know, I've only really ever played with Rasta, and I'd like to think that maybe if one of those dropped out, they'd ask me to play with them. But are you
a little bit disappointed in not being there? I mean, no disrespect to your current teammates.
Oh no, they're the only people I've really ever played CS with. So, yeah, obviously, I'm disappointed I'm not playing with them, but that was my own choice to not play with them, so it's my own fault. But yeah, if there was ever an opportunity to get back in that team, that's probably where I'd go. And up until then, I'll just go into mixes for LANs and stuff, because I can always go to LAN even if I can't play much online. I have played a lot online before this event, reaching the 100-hour mark on the Steam.
Jeez, you haven't done that in a long time.
Oh yeah, but yeah, it really depends what offers come up.
So, want to pick your brains about who you think's going to win this event, because I know you'll have followed Copenhagen Games with some interest. French teams seem to be, I know it's weird because they did so bad at Copenhagen Games. I mean, there's a chance, slim, that perhaps some of the other teams here could maybe use that and just psychologically have a bit of an edge going in against them, because in Very Games' situation, they've changed the player. In Thermal Take Dragons, I don't think they've done a lot of practice since Copenhagen Games. Who do you think is going to win? And what are your top 3 picks?
I think very games will win again. I mean, I think that Copenhagen thing was just a little stint. I don't think it's going to affect anything else. I think they're still going to be the best team around. I think Dragons will come close to beating them. Maybe another one map take off them. Yeah. Other than that, I still think very game's going to take it. And Weber's mix.
Crystal serve.
Yeah. I think they're going to do okay. I mean, the suspicions and the stuff like that. But you've got Weber, who's ridiculous. So, I think they'll do pretty well.
What about your thoughts?
Well, I think the opposite. I think TT Dragons will leapfrog very games. I was surprised with the very games pickup because I think once you've done bad, they did do bad at Copenhagen, you'd expect that they go for an experienced player like Shock or CRZ or someone that can just, I don't know, just bringing in. If you look at 3 of the players in that team, like they're like 16, 17, 18, like and coming to like a different country and playing games, like they haven't really got the experience. So I think TT Dragons will beat them, but they'll come second. And I'd be biased, but I'd like to see Rasta finish third because I just don't think they've got the rub of the green recently. I think they could have done a lot better at Copenhagen. Like I watched the games and they were there or thereabouts, but they couldn't quite finish out rounds and they really close against teams that were rated a lot higher than them. So I'd like to see them get the third, but it's up between. I think anyone could get that third spot. I don't think the French people will though, unless Weber goes insane.
You've missed out CRG in all of this discussion, and obviously we know your friend Luke has kind of bailed and he's with them. Yep. First of all, a little bit of a reaction towards that decision. And have you deliberately not mentioned them? I mean, secretly, do you think they might do well?
Yeah, I think they'll do well.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think it's up for grabs between any of them. Like they're a really good team. I was speaking to Tanky, their manager, about why they probably didn't perform at Copenhagen and they weren't getting enough sleep before they boot camped. But the problem with boot camp is if you don't have a hotel, they were just like sleeping on the floor for like 4 nights and they were just knackered by the time they got there. And they're all really good players and it could be anyone. I think they'll do well. If not, it's between them. Realistically, between them, Rasta and Toxic. Really, I don't think the French people will challenge for that third spot.
CRG overplayed so much at Copenhagen. They were telling us they had like over 100 hours, 80 hours and stuff like that. And it gets to a point you have to find the right balance, don't you, of not playing so you're disgustingly shit or overplaying so you're disgustingly shit. The right balance is the best thing. I think at this event they've got the right balance. I reckon.
Do you think Luke's going to bring something to that team? Because I know he's been good in teams he's built up where he's come in and got the players he wants to play with him. When he's coming into an established team, a lot of times egos clash and people butt heads. Which way do you think it's going to go here?
I think Luke will do pretty well with them. When he builds his teams, he's usually quite dominant. He's quite a dominant force. But I've seen some of his games and stuff. He's been playing really well, and at the minute he's a bit more timid with these guys compared to what he's usually like. Which is hard to believe. I mean, I'm not saying that he's a pussy.
No, I don't mean that. I'm not saying you're calling him out or anything.
I'm not saying he's like he's pussying out or anything like. But he's a bit more timid with these guys than he is when he builds his own teams up. But I think that'll change after because they've only been together like 4 days or something. Yeah. So I think that'll change once after this event. I think if they stay together and whatnot, they'll play really well.
So 2 final thoughts for you before I let you get back to warm up and deathmatch and all other exciting stuff that Source players love so much. Right. First of all, I-Series. For me, this one, being honest, it feels a little bit flat. That there's not a lot going on. So your thoughts on this I-Series and where I-Series might be headed, and with a mind to that, if I-Series were to say we're switching to global offensive tomorrow, are you guys there? Are you excited by that?
This I-Series has been very boring. I mean, I've just been wandering around talking.
Absolutely dreadful. I've never seen an I-Series like it. Like up until 3 o'clock today, we didn't play one good team. Like just groups that you smashed 16-0. I can't believe they can't figure out a system where it's like an invite tournament and then you can do best of 3. You see better games, you get more specs. It's just better, and more teams will turn up. I think better teams will turn up if they do best of 3, and it's organised like a proper European LAN. But it just feels really amateur.
And no fun for the community guys either, getting smashed 16-0, watching someone playing solitaire in between rounds.
Do like an amateur tournament, an intermediate tournament. I just don't understand it. No, I can't believe the good players like smashing them and it's boring as hell. I can't believe the shit players like getting smashed constantly. Like it doesn't work for anyone. I don't understand why they've still got the system. I think if anyone was going to listen to that in the multiplayer, it would be Damage. I think he might have implemented that, but I don't know who we'd go to now to kind of Because I think if i-Series is going to progress, they're going to have to do something, because all big tournaments are played as best as 3 now. Like Epic LAN, 10 times better than i-Series. I'd go to Epic LAN over i-Series every single time. But yeah, on Global Offensive, yeah, I think the sooner they get it in, the better. I'd really.
So you excited about that?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I think it's good. Hopefully, it'll be massive, and it will unite the communities. But I'm not in a. I don't know. I don't know enough about it to.
I got told, I was speaking to Luke, Critical, and I got told that the reason they didn't want to do a best of 3, because we were all up for a best of 3, it shows the better players, better teams, more prepared teams, prevail. I was speaking to Luke, and they said that they had the time to do best of 3, but they didn't because it would interfere with the pub quiz. Now, I don't know about you, but I think that's a bit strange, a bit weird. I'd rather have a best of 3, so it shows who the better team really is, to be honest.
Yeah,
I mean, you can always take a match. Like, VY could have smashed us on 2 maps afterwards, you never know. I doubt they would have, but they might have been able to. But yeah, I think with CSGO, I'd gladly switch to it, because I'm getting kind of sick of CSS. I get bored quite easily personally, so yeah, I'd gladly switch to it just to have a change, really.
Doesn't look like you're getting bored with the gym though, mate, does it? You know what I mean? That's anyway, that's Zeo, that's Quiver. I didn't introduce him at the start. I'm a little bit rusty at this, you'll have to forgive me. But to all the people out there, stay tuned to the website. We're going to bring you more coverage, more video interviews, all the results and everything else from i45 here at the Telford Exhibition Centre.